Welcome back, whiskey friends. Good to have you back here in the Whiskey Riff Lounge. If you're joining us new to the channel, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. It really helps. If you're back, welcome back. So today we've got some stuff out of Ohio. We've all been talking about this particular distillery for a little bit, but this is one that I had been waiting to open for a little bit. So we are talking about Middle West Spirits. So this is their sherry cask bourbon finish, Solera Spanish sherry cask. It's 6 years old, and the proof on this one is 97.2. Now, I will say they do make a cask strength version of this. I wasn't able to get my hands on it because I don't live anywhere near Ohio. I had to get an assist from my good buddy David McAllister to help me grab this one, but man, this is a hitter. So let's jump into this one, and I'll see you guys back here in just a second. All right, guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again. So today we're pouring up this Middle West sherry cask, and I will say it comes in a beautiful tube. I'll show you that in just a moment. We're going to pour this up. It's been breathing for a little bit with the top open, but here is the beautiful cask that it comes in. It's a really nice tube. Middle West Spirits is in Ohio, and they are putting out some killer stuff. Their pumpernickel rye. Oh my gosh, dude. I wish I could find the cask strength version of that around here. I'd be drinking that all the time. So again, 6 years old, Solera Spanish cask on this. So I don't know how many of you guys are finished whiskey people, but let me tell you, this one, I tried it about 2 months ago. This has been sitting in my thing for a while, but I was waiting on to clear out some other bottles before I open something else. So let's jump into the nose of this thing and see what we get. Cheers, whiskey friends. Right off the bat, you get all of those sherry notes. Man, it's such an incredible pour. Love the sweet sherry oak that comes off of that as well. I mean, that's really the bulk of the nose is the sherry finish. You get a little bit of those typical bourbon notes. Let's give this a little bit of air here to give a little swirl job. But I wanted to give a shout out to David McAllister and him helping me get this. But also, man, Middle West has been putting out some pretty stellar stuff for a while. It's just that their distribution hadn't been so that, a lot of people know about it or have tried as much of it as you probably should be. They do have cask strength versions of these that I believe are available at the distillery or in Ohio. I think there's some places that have the cask strength version of this particular one. And they also have some different finishing cask as well. Right away, man, it's just sweet. There's a little bit of baker's chocolate too that comes across on the nose, like dark chocolate. That's really, really nice. Let's get into the palate a little bit and let's see what we find. Oh yeah, that is so freaking good. So you get all the sweet notes up front with the sherry, then mid palate, it kind of moves towards a little bit of that oak, and then it finishes with a little bit, just a hint of that dark chocolate. But overall, even for under 100 proof, it really is pretty viscous. Oaks very well. It is just a little bit thinner than your typical bourbon for some reason. I don't know if it's the proof point that they did this one at, but it comes off a little bit thin. Let's go back to the nose and see what we find. So after tasting going back, you get a little bit more of the vanilla notes, more of the bourbon notes, I guess. Vanilla and caramel. Yeah, those bourbon notes come out a little bit more after you taste it and your palate gets a little bit more acclimated. You could pull out some of those typical bourbon notes that you would normally get Let's go back in for a second sip and let's see how consistent. See, the color is really nice, amber color. So yeah, some more of those bourbon notes come out even on the second sip. You get more of those vanillas. You get all of the sherry influence up front with the sweetness. You get just a little bit of spice towards the end, and it's not towards the back. It's actually towards the tip of your tongue. It's just a little bit there. I would say that if you guys like finished whiskey, and I like finished whiskey, then make sure that you guys are seeking this out, because I'm telling you, this right here, Middle West Sherry Cask Finished Bourbon, is where it's at. It's really good. It's not super proofy at this one. It does hold the bourbon notes as well as the sherry notes. It's not all sherry and nothing else. You do get the bourbon that comes through in this. And for 6 years old, man, this has got a lot of flavor. It holds more of the sherry oak than actual bourbon oak that comes across, whenever you're drinking it. So going back in, the vanillas and all the bourbon notes are all mid-palate. Sherry is all front palate. And then the finish comes across with just a little bit of tannin. It's not overwhelming. It's not off-putting in any way, but you do get a little bit of dryness from those sherry casks. But overall, man, great job to Middle West. Now, I have, like I said, drank some of their Pumpernickel Rye. It's probably been my favorite of their stuff. Their bourbon, to me, that they had on the shelf wasn't that great. But this has come along very, very nicely, especially with the finish on it. So you guys check out Middle West Spirits. The other ones that I would suggest that you get are, if you can find any of the cask strength versions of their finished stuff, is top notch. But the Pumpernickel Rye, just shelfer, is great. There's some picks going around right now of that particular bottle. If you can get your hands on those are freaking fantastic. That dark Pumpernickel Rye is delicious, along with this sherry cask bourbon. So you guys can pick this out, or if you've got some other Middle West Spirit things that you've tried that you like, make sure that you put them down in the comments. Make sure that you put down anything else from Middle West that you want me to try or do a review on. Make sure you do that. Hit the like and subscribe. Guys, thanks so much for sticking around for just a short review on this. But we love you guys, and thanks again, and we'll see you next week.
Jeff, just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again. Oh, Jeffrey, you should just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again. Oh, Jeffrey, you should just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you